we did our most of us anyway did our run assessment last week. So the across the board the questions were quite similar. So it has to do with their heart rate. Question number one would be their heart rate is very high. How soon can they bring it down? Secondly, their heart rate is so much higher than their peers. What are they doing wrong? Even at your regular easy run, what you feel is easy, your heart rate is really high. To bring that down, it takes patience. It takes a long time. That's why you need to do the training. So when we're training, we are essentially building the fitness of our cardiorespiratory system and also our muscles. Our heart is what's responsible in pumping blood, oxygen rich blood into our muscles so that it can produce energy. Just to simplify it, this is the system that we are constantly focusing on training. So the fitter your heart is, the thicker the wall of your heart is, and the larger the left ventricle of your heart to pump. So meaning per pump, more blood goes into the body, which means that your heart rate, your heartbeat is going to go down. So the chamber is how big that space is to take in blood and how strong your heart is to do that squeeze, that pump, to flow all that oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. So that is one part of it. Second part of it is obviously the bloodstream. We're going down to the hemoglobin content of your blood. The more hemoglobin it has, the more oxygen that it can carry. So that's why it's probably good that most of the household now has that oximeter, so you can test out how high your oxygen level is in your bloodstream. So the third part is obviously the receiver, your muscles, the working part of your body, how well it absorbs and takes in oxygen from the bloodstream, how fast it catches this oxygen. Again, through training, you will form more capillaries and thicker and bigger in diameter, which means it can feed the muscles. It will then just absorb through these capillaries and the mitochondria. Obviously, the more mitochondria you have, the more the faster absorption it's going to be. Changes in the body. It's something that you cannot control, as in you cannot give it a timeline. You cannot say that in 1 month time, I want to reduce my heart rate from 180 to 140, which is Lionel Sanders' standard. But it takes a long time because the adaptation itself takes a while, and it depends on person to person. One person might have a faster rate of adaptation. One might take a while. So that's why we say never compare yourself with other people, but always compare yourself with how you are doing and your own performance. Give your body that space, that time, and that understanding to eventually do what you ask it to do.